The revolution comrade.
Do you feel you're normal?
I hope I'm normal. I think so.
Well,
driving my car. I backed it into a parking space at the side of the road. As soon as the car stopped moving, someone blacked out from the inside vehicle. It flashed in that way. I can't see anything. I'm tired. I can't lock the door, move the car or anything. Then they blacked out from the inside front door. I realised that they could black out all the time. I can't move.
and how do you feel about coming here?
I'm a little nervous, perhaps.
Well, I think that's normal.
It's afternoon in Morningside, near the drawing of the day. It's afternoon in Morningside. I think I've been away. It's afternoon in Morningside. The stairs seem surprisingly steep. It's afternoon in Morningside. I must have been asleep. It's afternoon in Morningside, near the drawing of the day. It's afternoon in Morningside. I think I've been away. It's afternoon in Morningside. The stairs seem surprisingly steep. It's afternoon in Morningside. I must have been asleep. on the lane, especially near the dark brown stain, the one that appears when it's about to rain. Don't go round the bend on the lane. Don't walk to the end of our street, even though it's only 65 feet. There are some strange boys that you might meet. Don't walk down the end of our street. Don't look over the end of the bed, the one by your feet, not by your head. Don't you remember what your parents said? Don't look over the end of the bed. On the cracks in the floor, they'll catch you back to the floor. Behind the door, don't stand on the cracks in the floor. Don't go to the foot of our stairs. We can see you behind those chairs. There's no one down here except those bears. Don't go to the foot of our stairs. Down the morning side where Egypt, Cain and Jordan hide, where Hippolyte Blonde lay down and died. Don't go down the morning side. Don't go down the morning side where Egypt, Cain and Jordan hide, where Hippolyte Blonde lay down and died. Don't go down the morning side.
never seen such infinite beauty in my life. I've never seen such infinite beauty in my life. I've never seen such infinite beauty in my life.
welcome Surrealism to Narberth Museum. We are here tonight to open, and I hope I'm saying this right, Trois? Yeah? Okay, I've got 3 nods there, that's a good sign. In the shape of John Welson, Anne Paul Mounier, and Jean Bonin, and I hope you'll join me in giving them a huge round of applause. And I'm now going to hand over to John, start of hearing from the people that you're really here to hear from, not me. So, thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've never seen such infinite beauty in my life. I've never seen such infinite beauty in my life.
And it's a pleasure for us 3. It's an adventure for us 3. And it's fun. And I hope when you leave this evening, you will take also some fun away with you, because we want to share that with you. There are 3 of us. And we first met, I met Jean initially some years ago, a decade or so ago, and we'd always said, oh, we'd have an exhibition together. And then Anne Paul and Jean and I kind of merged together, had an exhibition which is showing on the film, which is, now this is significant, the shortest surrealist exhibition that has ever taken place. Half an hour. Okay, visitors, yep, 3 sheep, which you will see. But it was followed by us participating in the longest surrealist exhibition that has ever been, because we had an exhibition at Bilth Wells. It opened the week before COVID broke. So we also have the heavy accolade to carry of the longest showing surrealist exhibition that no one ever saw, because it was closed for months. So on the back of that, we thought we'd better do one that the public can come into and that they can enjoy. One of the images, one of the paintings here, is it is 130 years since Alfred Jarry, the French poet and playwright, had a performance of the play Ubu Roy. And so I did a painting to just celebrate Alfred Jarry's painting. On top of that, there's been this, in the news recently, this cave painting on the Gower Peninsula that was found at the beginning of the last century, selection of marks supposedly on a wall, or was it a cave painting? And so, first of all, one found there it was, a significant artwork, that perhaps the oldest artwork in the UK from that period of time. Then it was dismissed as mere stains in the rock formation. And recently it has now been found by scientific analysis that in fact that painting was a painting and not a stain. And that tickled our imaginative fantasies. And it was a pleasure to see each other's works as well. That was an adventure. Putting things into the public forum is quite something for creative people. And I would really like to share with you some experiences that over the decades I've had from different other situations of being a participant in events in the public forum. For 20 years, I showed in Hanover in Germany at the Gallery 13, and the exhibitions were great. They were wonderful, public forums, different artists coming from Eastern Europe and from Canada, from the Netherlands. The unfortunate thing was that the gallery director suffered from atrocious nerves. So for 3 days before the exhibition, he was either sitting on the loo because his nerves were so bad, or he was in the room with the door locked. So the experiences were that you had to get your paintings there at least 4 or 5 days before, because the last 3 days, Rainer's nerves were so bad, he couldn't surface. And there was a Dutch painter, Rick Lehner, and Rick was driving from Amsterdam with his paintings to hang up. Unfortunately, his van, just like all artists, he didn't have a lot of money. His van broke down, and the paintings were stuck in the van, and he couldn't get them to Hanover. But it was fine because he'd allowed the 3 days. But the 3 days became 2 days because the van couldn't be repaired, and he couldn't afford to pay for the van to be repaired. Okay, well, one day to get the works there, I flew over from London, where I was working at the time, and arrived at Hanover Airport, got to the gallery, and we were 2 hours before the exhibition and the pictures hadn't arrived. And so public forum, no artwork in public forum, nervous gallery director hiding there, and a lot of people coming to the vernissage. Public forums. Somebody from the locality had to stand there in front of the general public who'd come in, because there weren't any artworks on the wall, and actually explain what Rick's paintings would look like if they actually were there.
You can only say it isn't, it isn't, it isn't. Trying to tell people what it is. Well, of course, I don't know any of our friends Sid, that have taken it but haven't said this one thing in common. Well, I never knew anything like that in the whole of my life.
Surrealism is revolution. Surrealism is revolution, liberation, freedom from the forces of capitalism and the miserableism of reality created by capital and the bourgeoisie. Surrealism is liberation. Revolution.
I'm merely sharing some anecdotes about the pleasure of the odd and the curious that make us all laugh at some time, and that take and deflate the pompous and the serious, and perhaps allow us to see a lighter side in these polarized times where things are so extreme, so serious. And this exhibition of my two friends and our work is nothing more than or less than us sharing something that we enjoy doing, that is done not through angst but through pleasure, and we would like to put into the public forum to you wonderful people who've come along this Saturday night, just sharing with us something we've enjoyed and we want to put in the public forum for you. Thank you so much. Pass on to Anne Paul to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, John. You know, I am very French. And my English is not so good. I can express everything with all the nuances I can do in French. And because I have a lover, he can translate for me, and it is my official translator.
I can say whatever I want now.
Merci beaucoup à vous tous d'être ici.
They've got that. Thank you all for coming.
C'est un plaisir de vous voir aussi nombreux.
It's lovely to see how many of you have come tonight.
Et je veux juste remercier Stuart et Heather pour leur support.
We'd love to thank Stuart and Heather for their support and for their kindness leading up to this exhibition.
Yeah. Et une spéciale dédicace à Yvelène.
And a special dedication to lovely Evelyn, without whom we would be a little bit shorter. No, she didn't say that. I'm trying. No, it's never going to be an exact translation. Continue.
Donc, encore un remerciement. La confiance que John a eue, et vraiment je le remercie pour ça, et aussi la confiance de Jean Bonin.
And Paul would like to thank John for the confidence that he had, and also for the confidence that I've had.
Jean Bonin.
Jean Bonin, me in this exhibition and with you.
Alors non, en français. Quelques clés de compréhension du travail que vous allez voir, que je vous présente ce soir.
A few sort of keys into the work that you're going to see tonight.
Je travaille depuis plus de 25 ans sur les premières relations humaines à travers le monde, entre la nature, les humains et les représentations dites artistiques.
For over 25 years now, Anne Paul has worked in a mix of nature, the representation of the human form.
Et je ne sais plus.
And her work has been influenced by nature and the representations of the human form in prehistory.
Donc ici, vous allez avoir une galerie de photographies que j'ai pu prendre pendant nos voyages à travers le monde sur des sites néolithiques.
So in Anne Paul's work, you're going to see a combination of, or a selection of photographs that she's taken while we've travelled to many different places to prehistoric sites.
For the Neolithic time.
From Neolithic times.
And sur ces photos, il y a des collages qu'on appelle techniquement des collages habillés.
And in these photographs you will see what has been added, which are collages, and in French they're called dressed collages, collages habillés, and I don't know what the term in English is, but what it basically means, and so that means finding an image, as one would do with in inverted commas, a normal collage, finding an image, but then adding one's own art to it. So one has taken an image from wherever one's found that picture, but then one's added with colour, with interpretation on top of it. That's, yeah.
Et juste pour finir, vous allez voir un monde qui se déroule devant vos yeux, qui est une interprétation des premiers, des premiers mythes de création qui peut-être existent depuis l'origine de l'humanité. Like some, comme si certains rites de création, de mythologie continuent à être actifs aujourd'hui. Et ici au Pays de Galles, par exemple, il y a Mary Lloyd.
So it's as though there are certain traditions that have continued from the earliest times, and it's an interpretation of what might have been, or what could be, or what maybe if we could pass from now to then we would see. Traditions that could continue, that might have continued had we been aware of them. And one example of that living here in our wonderful, beautiful Cymru is the Mary Lloyd.
Voilà, merci, excusez-moi, merci pour votre attention.
So my name is Jean Bonin, and I'm just the eye candy. No. That's too. I was expecting a slight sort of. Yeah, no, I get that. No, all right, fair enough. You've all got glasses on, so I'll pretend that I'm right. So we started off this idea. John and I first met. I translated a book of a surrealist artist and alchemist who was from the island of Mauritius, whose first language is French, who died in 1980, whose name was Malcolm de Chazal. Some of his books are for sale here, or my translation, and his original text in French. And I spent 4 years translating 755 of his poems, aphorisms, and so forth. And once I'd done that, I published them, and je peux dire ton nom ou tu préfères pas? Okay. And so once I translated them, I was very happy because it took me 4 years, and it was quite difficult, and it wasn't just French, but it was an old French, and it was a bit surreal, and it was a bit and he was very animistic. He had a very animistic way of looking at things, and alchemical and so forth. Anyway, I finished his translation. I happened to be in a record shop in Haverfordwest a couple of months after it had been translated, and in the record shop there was a picture on the wall of an exhibition of a surrealist artist, and I was talking to the person that owned the record shop. I make greetings cards and of art and things like that, and I was asking if he'd like to have them, and said, well, we were having this chat, and I said, that's a lovely poster. And anyway, somebody came through the door and he said, that's the person who was in the exhibition of the poster. And I said, oh, that's great. So I started talking to him, and he was a surrealist artist because I saw the poster and everything. And so I was trying to think, well, what can I talk about surrealism? And I just had my book, my translation published, and I said, oh, that's fantastic. I love the poster, which was a depiction of one of his artworks. And I said, that's great. So what can I say about surrealism? And I said, well, I've just translated a book of poetry of a surrealist artist whose first language was French and so forth. And he said, who was it? And I said, well, he's not very well known in the English-speaking world. He said, no, who was it? And I said, no, really, he's not very well known. And he sort of said, well, tell me who he was. And I said, well, it's a chap called Malcolm de Chazal. And John said, oh, I had an exhibition with him in Chicago in 1976. So that's how we met. And then we became friends. And then the three of us have done several things together. We were in, for example, most notably, because John kindly invited both of us to be part of it, the largest surrealist exhibition that there'd been in Wales, which was in Aberystwyth in 2017. And that was fab. As far as the works go, I see them, and especially, I mean, all of our works, but this is just, my interpretation is no more worthy than anyone else's, but I see our works, and especially Anne Paul's works, as basically, if we assume, or if we agree, or if we think that we might agree with the idea that maybe things were taken away from us during the Enlightenment, as Max Weber said, that it wasn't the age of enlightenment, it was the age of disenlightenment. So progress, in inverted commas, modernization. These people, 50,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, were discovering more and more about their art, about, you know, Neanderthals, when I was young, were supposed to be these people with clubs and everything like this. They were doing art, you know, and so we are getting to know more and more about them. And this is our interpretation, our mix of prehistory, because one of Anne Paul's specialisms is the representation of the female form in prehistoric art. And I see it as a mix of prehistory. John and I, of course, come from a surrealist tradition, and we've all sort of mixed our imaginations and our creativities together to try and break through that veil a little bit, creatively and humoristically. I hope. And if not, we'll have a beer in a bit. But if you don't mind. No, thank you very much. Please, go on. I know it's 20 minutes. Really? Oh, Trois, Jean-Luc, merde. Bon, so I know this really long half-an-hour story. No. So with this in mind, and the beauty and the excitement that I had for our creativity, and the fact that Anne Paul and I are partners, and we've never done an exhibition together, not this intimate, as it were, not just, you know, we've been in big exhibitions when there's been 30, 40 other people, so that was a beautiful thing for me as well. And of course, John and I are really good friends who've gone back for quite a while now. So I wrote this poem. Before I read you the poem, oh no, please read the poem, we're really waiting for it. All right, hold on. Oh God. No, I won't, hold on. There are some books for sale, you know, but also, when you've all had a look, I don't know in how long, in 20 minutes, in half an hour or something, we will all, those who wish to stay with us, we will all go to a secret rendezvous, which is in 5 minutes walking distance from here.
like that. It is at a loss, and I saw when I saw them, I imagined, there's someone ouais, il could be.
So I studied
people are like, I don't know, a fruit basket, and it is like, right, there are good bits. There are bits that you like more than others.
Are you filming?
I am filming. I'm going to make a film of it all.
Not my best side, I don't know.
Oscar Schlemmer. He's the guy who made the theatres of science.
I know it is like that, and you like chocolate, and you are very generous, and the people just like that.
God, you can see my name.
Et après que l'angoisse,
Then what gets lost is the heritage. It's just the dialect. It's all the heritage. It's the 2, 3, 500, 600 behind when I lived there, like there were loads of, there was like Bridge Street was all full of shops. High Street was full of shops. I got to close that.
what are you putting?
Rest.